This video is about Tamerlane and his contribution to the world. Now, there's a lot of controversy around him for obvious reasons. A lot of people hate him because he killed 17 million. No idea where the heck they got that number from, probably from the historians of his enemies. These so-called historians appointed by the kings love to exaggerate events in both negative and positive ways. He left a big mark on the world, or at least in Central Asia, both positive and negative. Before the keyboard warriors in their parents' basement start attacking me, let's take a look at who he really is and what he left behind. I don't condone his violence, just to be clear, so who's Amr Timur? In short, Timur bin Taragai Barlas, Timur meaning iron or hard as an iron, Taragai meaning meadow bird or lark, and Barlas meaning brave, warrior, hero, was his full given name. So he was born in Transoxiana, modern-day Qashqadarya, Shahrisabz, in the village of Khoja El Khor. Shahrisabz literally translating to city of verdant or city of green, and Khoja El Khor translating to advanced / progressive. Khoja means boss. I have no idea why they'd want to call a village progressive boss, but I do know that why it was called progressive, because they were one of the first tribes to convert to Islam. Anyway, he was born in the 9th of April, some say 8th, 1336 to a Turco-Mongol family. His father Amr Taragai was a minor noble, part of a Mongol tribe / clan called Barlas. As you've noticed, he had the tribe's name obviously. Some say he was also the head of the clan. Let's start with his descendants and what he left. If you look it up, basically almost all of his children and grandchildren were important figures. Some of the more famous ones are Babur, the founder of the Mughal Empire. He was throned at 12 and ruled over some cities, and he was pushed back by the Shaybanids later. Then we have Ulugh Bek, a freaking polymath, polyglot, gigachad, who also became king at 16 and ruled over the whole of Mawar al-Nahr, modern-day Uzbekistan. If I had to name all of them, this video wouldn't be that short. In a very small nutshell, without Timur, there wouldn't be any of those kings and inventors, poets and literature masters, polymaths and polyglots, and I don't only mean the two I mentioned. Timur and his descendants were patrons for a lot of the culture we still have today, influencing both all of Central Asia, Iran, and all of the places where the Timurs touched. Without them, we wouldn't have culture, you know what I mean. Our ancient culture is buried deep, and we wouldn't have anything without the Timurids and the later kingdoms and khanates established after. If you have some mediocre history knowledge, you know that the Timurids don't exist today, and the term Uzbek was a political identity until it became an ethnicity over years through the unique culture that was present. And you also know that the term Uzbek means Timurids under a new name and identity. The Uzbeks are the closest group to the early Timurids in language, culture, phenotypical appearance, and even genetically. What I'm saying is, he contributed a lot towards Central Asia and changed history, no denying that. But why is he hated even though he did so much? Well, here's one scenario for you. Imagine an edgy teenager who is growing up in a nationalist toxic environment and is fed propaganda and stereotypes every day. So one day this illiterate teen discovers Timur through the internet and sees that he conquered a kingdom or a place which he thinks is his ethnicity or his people. What do you think does he do? You tell me. The most people who hate him are either the salty nationalists, patriots in their mom's basement, hating on him because Timur conquered his people, /land, /territory, /whatever, or it's the far leftist toxic vegan PETA supporters who can't differentiate between an ancient king and a current day political leader and doesn't have the brain capacity to understand how it was the norm to conquer land. Or simply they have the herd mentality and follow what the majority of the people say and agree to feel connected. Or you just don't know. And most people who hate him say that he whooshed 17 million people. So what? Any emperor or king or whatever whooshed millions. Why is Timur's case different than any other? Why don't they hate on Alexander or Caligula or any of the brutal kings of Europe? Oh, and let me tell you, go search how many people did Tamerlane whoosh, and you will see a big bold text screaming 17 million with a little 5% of the world. And go search any king and ask the same question and see if you get the same result. Some people have the audacity to compare him to freaking Adolf Hitler. No hecking way. You know Joseph Stalin killed like more than 20 million contributing to nothing but communism. And he's loved more than Timur. What the actual heck? Stalin's wishes happened like some 5-7 decades ago. Most of his wishes happened during war, and he gave the cities a chance to survive and to let them thrive under Timur's rule before sieging. What king does that? Well, I went a bit hard on this, but some people do be spreading hate, and some of their claims are bizarre. Again, I know he was fierce and ruled with an iron fist. That does not mean he's barbaric. That's just what kings and emperors did in order to control over a large populace. I'm not trying to convince anyone into anything, and I'm not condoning his killings or his violence, never. So sometime later he rises to power, another topic for another video, and started conquering his neighbors. And I think the video is getting a bit too long. I should stop here and make a part 2 later. So yeah. This video was about some basic facts and Timur's legacy, bad or good. It was about why he's hated and disregarded and loved in Uzbekistan. I'll need to update my channel's bio to language and history now. People need to know this, historian or not. Thank you for watching. Bye.